I'm sure you know by now how much I hate drawing attention to myself, all evidence notwithstanding. But this is just a day after I made my last video, and the weather is 180 degrees different. Well, 180 degrees meaning in terms of a circle, not temperature. Right now it's about 10 degrees. When I left the house, I was overdressed. I had my hat, my buff, and my jacket on, so I had to remove those. There's practically no wind. It's just a beautiful day to be walking around Carbondale. So I thought what I would do today is take some pictures of some local landmarks, and that's probably about it. I don't think I have anything interesting to say, but this is I mean, why should this video be any different, right? I haven't had anything interesting to say since 2015. It's almost warm enough to get the bike out today. Almost. And I think I'm going to see a lot of convertibles and probably a few motorcycles driving around town today. As soon as you get a really nice day, especially in the early spring, everybody that has a motorcycle or a convertible brings it out. It's like spring fever, I guess you could call it. Although I did see a motorcycle yesterday when it was -6 and raining. That's not normal. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. It's going to show some of the, like I said, some of the iconic places in town with an homage to The Third Man. I forget the director of that. Maybe I'll just refilm this part. So the director of The Third Man was Carol Reed. And the reason I remember that is because he made the Dutch angle for cameras sort of a trademark in that particular movie. And if you don't know what a Dutch angle is in cinematography, well, you can look that up. And if you do know what a Dutch angle is, then you can leave a comment below scolding me for not holding the camera steady. Your choice. Right now I'm trying to find my way out of here so I can continue my walk. I have some gardening to do today. Yes, it's not grass cutting, thank goodness. But I am going to be raking up pine cones so that when spring finally does get here, and when the grass finally starts growing, the first person to cut it, and it won't be me, the first person to cut it won't be getting pine cones stuck in the lawnmower. There's nothing worse than pine cones in a lawnmower. Here's an example of a Dutch angle. Not sure I can do that well with this camera. Sometimes the GoPro likes to keep everything level. So I had to set it so it doesn't do that. Anyway, from the monitor, it looks like it's doing a Dutch angle. It's just where the camera is tilted to the side, and so it's supposed to add some kind of suspense or something to the movie or the scene. I don't get it. I'm not a cinematographer. I just read a lot. This is a nice path between 7th Avenue and the Carbondale Shopping Plaza. I think I've mentioned before, in the wintertime, it's practically a death trap because it's covered with ice and snow. And sometimes after heavy rains and things, it's muddy. But right about now, it's got the perfect surface. When the trees start to bloom again, it's really a nice place to walk. Unfortunately, it's only, it looks like it might be 80 or 90 meters long. So it's not a large area, but it is nice. Until this second, I did not know this lane or this path even had a name. In this video, you should refrain from looking at the top of my head or my arms, because after 3 months of no sunlight, you might be blinded. They're quite reflective, let's put it that way. It's tax season here in the United States. April 18th is the tax deadline for Americans this year. And if you haven't tried filing your taxes online yet, I'd like to recommend that you give H&R Block a try. I've noticed that this year, filing online, their forms and directions and complete computer interface was wonderful. It was much better than it was in years past. I used to live overseas, so I would have to file my taxes online, and none of the providers really did a good job with foreign income. It was always hit and miss, and I never quite understood, or I was never confident that I had filled out the forms properly, or even that I had filed the proper forms. Because although they had the forms on the online services, and these were services recommended by the IRS, so it was just not a pleasant experience. But this year, H&R Block Online, just wonderful. I'm very pleased with it. If you haven't tried it, give it a try, give it a look and see if you like it. Now walking through Memorial Park, which is dead set in the center of Carbondale. When I get to the other end of the park, I'll be on what is called Church Street here in Carbondale. And of course, it gets that name because I would say almost every church I can think of that exists in Carbondale, except for one or two, is on this street. We have one that's on River Street, but the rest, if I'm remembering correctly, are here on Church Street. We have 3 churches right in a row here. This is St. Rose Church. And 2 more churches near the end of the street, or the end of the block. This is the Methodist Church. It sort of looks like a castle. And this one is a Presbyterian church. Not really sure what the differences are, but you can look that up. I think that'll do it for this video. I'm not going to record any of my yard work for 2 reasons. Number one, it's still early in the day, so I may decide not to do it. And 2, I don't want you to see me throwing things and crying like a baby, because as you know, I hate yard work. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe by clicking my face over there on the left. That's it for today. I'll show myself out.